Hey, it is Sue Rogers here at Sue Rogers Unedited. Red Ribbon Week. Let's talk about it. Mostly because it just happened at the local high school, which I'm not a fan of. The high school specifically, the high schools specifically. Once you homeschool and then go back, it's really hard to be back. But Red Ribbon Week. All right, I remember this back in the day when I was a kid. Red Ribbon Week is all about kids don't do drugs, right? Stay away from drugs, don't do drugs. Let's dress up in all these different outfits, different theme days for Red Ribbon Week. And let's tie a bunch of red ribbons around trees because that stops people from doing drugs. Get the fuck out of here. Like, those ribbons are still tied around the trees at the school. And I find it comical in California specifically that they want you to stay away from drugs. Yet in order to enter the California public school system, and I believe the private school system even, there are 0 exemptions for vaccines, which literally are pharmaceutical drugs that you're injecting into all of the babies in California at birth. No exemptions here. 0 exemptions. Not even a religious exemption, which how is that constitutional? Doesn't the United States Constitution protect our religious beliefs? And yet the state of California, and I think I have a feeling that I've heard it's coming, and I hope it's coming, but I hope people get to sue the shit out of this state for going against having any religious exemptions. You cannot get a religious exemption for vaccinations to send your child to school in the state of California. The only thing that I think might still be available, you can't get I think medical exemption. I don't even know if you can get away with that because doctors get penalized for writing more than like a handful of them. Like, they're not even allowed, like the doctors can't even get a medical exemption. Like, your child has to be injured from a vaccine, like debilitating injury from it to then get exempted from getting more of them. Fucking bullshit. Okay. So here we are at Red Ribbon Week. Stay off of drugs, stay away from drugs. But in order to come to this campus, you have to be injected with a million fucking things before you ever even step foot in here. You see the irony too, right? It's not just me. And if you still think that we all have to have them, I was there once too. I'm like, sure, get them, don't get them, whatever. Turtles All the Way Down is a book, and I highly recommend you read it. Change your mind, don't change your mind. I don't give a shit. I'm just telling you my thoughts here on things that I've connected over the years. And when I find stupidity, I got to point it out. Okay? But the other thing too is my daughter has told me she has walked out of the girls' bathroom, which in California, it doesn't fucking matter if you're a dude, you can use the girls' bathroom or the locker room or wherever you want. If you have a penis, it doesn't matter. They don't fucking care. But she walked out of the girls' bathroom and it totally smelled really strongly of weed. You can't even keep the drugs off your own campus, but tying a red ribbon around a tree is going to help. Now, I get bringing awareness to like the long-term damage of what drugs can do to you. But yet we also take our kids to the doctors where they do nothing but prescribe them legalized forms of some of these drugs, like Adderall. And God knows what else, okay? But it's all messed up, is my point. It's all messed up and kind of ridiculous. So if you are a parent, this is where you come in. You got to set them straight. You got to tell them the do's and the don'ts. You gotta give them a safe space to be and to share with you what's going on, or if they do try something, hopefully they're like tell you what's going on. If they mess up, they know it's a safe space to come tell you if they mess up, and not be afraid and just keep hiding things and let it fester and get worse and worse and worse. So parents, like, it really is up to us. The state of California, the public school system, none of them give a fucking shit about your kid. Some of the teachers do. Some of the admins probably do. The system does not. And I know I say this a lot. I am not insulting any of my teacher friends or the people who are admins that are doing an amazing job. The system, the state system, the government system does not give a shit about your kid. You do. You have to. And thank God for the teachers that are the amazing teachers that actually do. But there's a lot of them that don't. So it is up to us to really be there for our kids and give them the information, especially if you know there's addiction in your family. Like, don't keep addiction in your family a secret from your child. Make them aware. Let them know, like, okay, so-and-so in the family, this is what happened. Now you have a choice if you want to fall into those footsteps, knowing, because us, and maybe this is bullshit too, but from my understanding, they say addiction is genetic, but they fucking say everything is genetic now, and it's a lot of it is environmental and your environment that you're in. But if you grow up around it, so you're seeing it, and then it seems kind of normal because it's in your environment, do you want your kids to fall into that path? Well, it might not be you. It may be other people within the family, like not you personally, or maybe it is you, but you're working on it. Be open and honest with your kids about it, because that's what's really going to help them, and not a ribbon tied around a tree. Surprised they're still up. That's what I'm really getting at here. Okay, rant on it, yes, but let's find solutions, and let's actually care about our kids. And if you are in the state of California, like I still am right now, we have to fucking fight, you guys, because it's terrible and it's getting worse. And the only thing that's going to change it, and yes, we can change the legislation, is us. Those of us that are still here and didn't just fucking leave. And if you did leave to go somewhere else to get away from Newsom, watch out, because that motherfucker's trying to run for president, and no one in this country is going to be safe if that's the case. So we freaking fight. Have to fight. And if it seems pointless, it's not, because there are tons of parents in California fighting that have overturned some things that almost didn't seem possible. And what they're working on next is getting dudes out of the girls' fucking locker room and bathroom at schools, and out of their sports. And also, if we can get rid of the removal of the religious exemptions. And a lot of that is connected also with, I'm not thinking correctly of it off the top of my head, but there is a legal case going on somewhere that's fighting against being forced COVID-19 vaccinations without there being a religious exemption offered, because it's unconstitutional. If that goes through, then we can flip that to California for not allowing religious exemptions for childhood vaccination schedules. Please fight. ProtectKidsCalifornia.com is actually the website where they're working on a bunch of initiatives, and any support we can all give just helps. Because I have a feeling from the parents that I do talk to that don't know about this shit that's happening, they're appalled when I tell them that it's happening. So if you don't know, that shit is going down in California. And if we don't fight, it's just going to get worse. And if you think you're safe in another state, it's going to spread. So fight against it. And yes, don't do drugs, or do them in moderation, and do them with a purpose. There is a doctor that I love that's his phrase, because there are certain ways to do certain types of things to help heal. whole nother topic for a whole nother time. But that is it for today. Red Ribbon Week. Woohoo. Like, subscribe, follow, share on I'm on Spotify, YouTube, Anchor for the podcast, and my website, www.balancedaylife, to get on the email list or contact me over there. Instagram, Facebook @balancedaylife. And I will check you guys on the next one.